Hi everyone. Today we're going to be diving into a topic that I think a lot of us can relate to, and that is how to simplify and master your morning makeup routine. We all want to look our best for the day without feeling rushed and stressed in the morning. So here are some tips that I have discovered along the way to save some time, to save some energy, and to save some frustration sometimes. So I thought I'd sit down, do my makeup, and take you through what I've discovered works for me. I do have my little bag of goodies here. Is this not the most beautiful makeup bag you've ever seen? It's so gorgeous. It's from Lisa Eldridge. I got it in an order that I had placed. Oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, let's get into what I have found really works for me to help streamline my morning makeup routine. We do want to make sure, obviously, that our skin is clean, cleansed, moisturized, depending on your skin type, and have our SPF on. And if you do use a primer, obviously you want that as well. And, for me, I use a pore filling primer. I interchange the products that I use for that. This is the Tarte, but I put this in the areas that I want to focus on, just right here on the T-zone. If this is an important step for you, definitely do not skip it. However, using a primer does help get your makeup on a lot more smoothly and also help with its longevity. So if I'm using a product today as I'm yapping and I don't mention it, which I probably won't, I'll have everything linked down below. Now we are prepped, okay? And we're going to move on to the first thing you want to make sure you do to make sure to have an easy breezy time when you're doing your makeup in the morning. The most important thing, in my opinion, is to identify your non-negotiables. What are your areas that concern you the most? Make sure you spend the most time on those. My non-negotiable for sure is my under eye area, because I know that's the place that needs a lot more work. So I know I'm never going to skip this step, right? So for you, maybe it's redness, maybe it's your eyebrows, whatever it is that concerns you or is something that you cannot go without, then just focus on that and allocate a little bit more time to that area, because then at the end, you'll be happier overall with your makeup. I know I usually cannot skip corrector. You may not need corrector on your lids or your under eyes, but I certainly do. So that's not something that I'm going to skip. And so I focus my time there versus another area that might not be so time consuming for me. And so instead of rushing through just so you can get through all of your steps, then knowing that this is the area that you definitely want to make sure is perfected really helps. I already feel 100% better, and I only have my under eyes done and my lids. The next thing is to just stick to your essentials. Stick with the products that you know really look great on you, that you can reach for, have no problems with. You want to simplify your product selection of what's in front of you, and that way you eliminate too many choices, because when we have too many choices, that's when we can run into some issues. If you know you have your products that are tried and true, you love them, you know they work for you, then you don't run into this issue of, having too much choice in front of you. You don't want too much choice. That's when you can run into some issues, because you spend more time trying to select what you want to wear versus just knowing what you have in front of you is going to work for you. You reach for it, you know it's going to work for you, and then you go about your day. There's definitely something to be said about that. Eliminating too many choices when we have so much to choose from. It can become overwhelming, and we don't want to be overwhelmed in the morning. We want to sit down, get our face together, and get on with our day. The next thing is to avoid experimenting with new products and techniques. Trust me when I tell you that I have run into this issue, mainly because I try so many products. And when I'm in a rush, the last thing I want to do is try some new product or a new technique, and then it doesn't work out, and then you're stressed, you're sweating, you're maybe swearing, and it doesn't make for a very pleasurable makeup application morning experience, We want to avoid the potential stress of a makeup mishap, if you know what I mean. So stick to your tried and trues for your morning makeup routine. And then maybe if you do want to experiment a little bit, then save it for those days where you know that you're not in a hurry and you have to leave the house or whatever. Or sometimes I'll even try these things at night, knowing that I'm gonna jump in the shower or I can just take it off and go to bed. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And spoiler, usually those are my best makeup applications when I have zero pressure. I'm just sitting there, I'm not going anywhere, I have nowhere to go. And usually works out that way. And I think there's something to be said about not having a time pressure on you or the idea that, your makeup has to look really, really great. In your mind, it's like, well, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't, nor here nor there. So there's something to be said about that as well. Next up is finding products that are multi use. For example, you can use a cream blush that you can also add to your lips. That's a really big time saver. Or in this example, using the bronzer that you're already using in your crease to get a little bit of definition on your eyelids. I find that is actually the biggest time saver, to be honest with you, because I don't have to think about it. I just know I'm going to use my bronzer in my crease. I already have that done. The product's already out on my desk. I don't have to think about it. And that is a major, major stress reliever when I eliminate the choices for my eyes as well. The next thing is to try to create your own signature look. This will be your go-to look, right? You sit down and you know exactly what you're going to do. It makes life so much easier in the morning when you're getting ready. And then it becomes your look, very, very unique to you, that people, when they look at you, they're like, oh yeah, we know. And you'll save time by not having to even think about what you're doing in the morning. It saves you so much time. And then this look becomes very uniquely you. As I finish doing my makeup, I just want to say that the most important step is to enjoy the process. Makeup is supposed to be an enjoyable process. For me, makeup is therapeutic, and being stressed when you're putting your makeup on is not a good idea. So try to find joy in it and that little piece of your morning where you're feeling great and you're enjoying it. It's your little slice of heaven in the morning. I know that it is for me. Here's another example of using a product multi-use. I'm going to put my highlighter on, if you're going to choose to put highlighter on. And then this Gucci one, I love using on my eyelids. I wore that for New Year's and it was just beautiful. It has become my go-to kind of, if I want a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of pizzazz on my lids. It's not too in your face, it's quite subtle, but it adds that little something something to your lids. This is not a product review video, but just an example of how you can double up a highlighter with an eyeshadow if you just wanted to add the bezazzle dazzle on your eyelids. I don't think bezazzle or dazzle are words, but I mean, we're going to go with that right now. Here's another example of a product that you may not need, but I definitely do. So this falls into my non-negotiables category, and that is an eyelash primer because my eyelashes need a lot of help. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of color, especially blue. No, pretty much only blue on my lower waterline. Oh, I love it. This is the Glossier. Oh, it's so long lasting and it looks so great. On the lower waterline, it adds this little very subtle pop of color and it just adds a little something extra to an otherwise very, very basic eye look. I think the overarching idea here is to be prepared, not to overwhelm yourself, and to know what your go-to products are, to eliminate options and be able to better streamline your morning routine. Focus on the essentials, eliminate the ones that cause you stress because we don't need that in the morning. It's all about finding what works for you and making it an enjoyable process. And I think we're done. I really hope you found this helpful. Please share in the comments below, what are your non-negotiables? What will you not leave your house wearing? What is the part of your makeup routine that you spend the most time on? And also, have you discovered any other tips that will help your morning makeup routine? Please share with everybody in the comments. I'd love to hear it. If there's anything that I didn't touch upon in this video, would love to hear about that. As always, thank you so much for watching. I have a few products on their way to me. I have the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt palette that I want to review for you. I have the new Dior foundation that I want to review for you. I also have the new Mario lip glosses that I want to show you, and also the NARS lip oil as well. I'm sure there'll be more. Next time I see you, I'll probably do a full face of new makeup, but we'll see how that goes. Again, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.